So you want to learn how to paint tulips effectively? Coming up. How you going there guys? Emma here from Paint and Pinot, giving you some top tips for all things art and design. And today we're going to learn how to paint tulips with a technique called the one brush stroke technique. It generally uses a floating medium, which is basically used to make acrylic paint glide across your canvas or your page depending on what you're using. Today I'm going to show you a technique on how to do something a little bit cheaper, but in my opinion just as effectively. Here we go. So to replace the floating medium, I'm actually using just a cheap normal primer paint. So you'll notice the oil floats to the surface. This is what's going to replace with the floating medium, and this is actually going to help us to blend the acrylic together. So the brush that I've chosen is just a normal flathead. Obviously the higher quality the better it's going to be for you. You can see that I've snipped it so that its length on one side is longer. This will help us do the technique. So the technique, as you can see, there's two. One is the straight technique. The second one is where we twist the brush around so that you're keeping the darker colour to the centre. This is going to get a lovely effect for the tulip. So we need to be using two very contrasting colours. I've decided to go with a nice crimson red, contrasting against a nice warm yellow. So you'll notice that I'm going to load up one side of the brush with the red, and then I'm going to load up the other side with yellow. I've already got the floating medium onto the brush quite thick. This will then help me to blend the two together. I've just put a bit of white on there as well, just to give it a nice contrast. So you'll notice as I'm actually blending the paints together, you've got to keep the two sides separate in terms of colours so that you get this beautiful distinct mark when you're blending out. Then when it comes to actually putting the brush on the paint onto the paper, you can see the technique I'm using, just keeping the brush, keeping your hands spinning all the time. So to make the actual tulip, it just consists of three parts. You've got your base, you've got your two side leaves, which you can see here. So again, keeping that wrist twisting around, consistently twisting, and then I just do a very simple twisted centerpiece, and that is the basic structure for your tulip. And just to finish off, you can obviously build more leaves into the tulip shape, so I'm just putting another couple of side pieces on there. But the key here is that you want to get that lovely contrast of the dark acrylic going to the lighter acrylic. So there you have it guys, hopefully you've learned some top tricks on how to paint tulips effectively. If you've enjoyed today's video, then please hit the subscribe button just below, where you're going to get some weekly top tips for all things art and design. Alright, we'll see you next time. Happy painting!